Hey performers, welcome back. Today we're going to observe and reflect. While we have typically looked at the music or the live on stage persona of a performer, we're going to look at a slightly different angle of this. Today on Danny Robertson Music, we're going to observe and reflect on the Foo Fighters. Welcome back to Danny Robertson Music, where we try to help you become the best possible performer that you can be on whatever stage you choose. I'm Danny Robertson. Thank you for joining us again today. This one is going to teach us some things that we're not used to hearing about performance. Before we get started, I'd love it if you'd do a couple of things for me here. One, subscribe to my channel on YouTube here. Also like or comment on any videos that you feel like there's something that you'd want to say there. And also join my email list at DannyRobertsonMusic.com. You'll get updates on when we're doing these videos. You'll get updates on things like when we're having course promotions. And it's a good thing to be on that email list. So join at Danny Robertson Music, and you can find it pretty much anywhere on that website. Normally in observation and reflection, what we've talked about is things like how the music flows, how the excitement feels on stage, how the visuals look on stage, what you're saying to the crowd to get them engaged and things like that. Sometimes when you're on stage, you're going to have tough situations that you're not expecting. The Foo Fighters have been a fun band to watch for a long time. They've been around since the mid-90s. They create great music that's really fun to sing along to. They're also known for having a fantastic stage show, and they are known for being really, really nice guys. The band is very good on stage. They're entertaining. They don't worry about being perfect musicians. They worry about connecting with their crowd and having a good time. But that's not what I want to talk about at all today, actually. They had a particularly tough situation that happened to them about 7 or 8 years ago when they were on stage and something happened. And the way that they handled that situation, the way that they handled the crowd to keep that relationship with the crowd strong, showed a lot about their character, and I think it leveled up the amount of respect that people had for them as performers. Today I'm going to show you 4 videos. 3 of them are from one single performance that happened in, I believe it's Sweden is where this happened. The Foo Fighters were performing on stage and an accident happened. So let me switch over to my other screen here. The lead singer here is Dave Grohl, and he has something happen right here in the middle of the show. Did you see that? He basically, I don't know exactly how it happened, but it looks like he tripped over a cable or something and lost his footing and just never caught himself before completely falling off stage. And what we don't know at this point is that he has fallen so hard that he breaks his leg, and I believe he shattered it in like 2 different places really badly. So watch how he handles this. Particularly, I want you to watch how he talks to the crowd while he's laying on the ground, frustrated and in a lot of pain. So watch this. They switch over to another shot.
I think I just broke my leg. I think I really broke my leg. So look, you have my promise right now that the Foo Fighters, we're gonna come back and finish the show. But right now, you gotta do Chevy Metal right now. You gotta do it. Can you do it? Okay.
So, true professional right here. He is in pain on the ground with a medical team around him, and he says, "Give me a microphone. I want to tell the crowd what's happening." He basically does 2 things in this case. He gets everybody up to speed to what's happening so that nobody's questioning what's going on stage, why there's a big crowd down there. And he basically says, I'm probably going to have to go to the hospital, but we'll have to stop the show and continue on a different day. That's what he thinks right now. What we find out is that he gets checked out and he ends up going back on stage. But let's watch the rest of this little section here.
Right now, I'm going to go to the hospital. I'm going to fix my leg. But then I'm going to come back
So he's saying we might have to stop the show, and I'm so sorry about it, but we're going to come back and play for you again. So he's making a promise to his crowd. He is in really bad pain, and yet he's still trying to make sure that his crowd is okay. What we find out very shortly thereafter, he gets checked out, he gets his leg wrapped up, and they say, we need to take you to the hospital. And he goes, can I finish the show? And they say, no, you shouldn't. And he goes, I'm going to do it anyway. They walk him back on stage in a stretcher and they sit him down in front of the crowd, and he's going to play the rest of the show. Watch this. I am going to show this from two different angles, so I just want you to see this. So watch this. Here he comes. The thing that you got to realize at this point is this was a completely bad mishap, and they actually were able to make it part of the show. So it was almost like a reemergence type of thing where you're rooting for the hero in a movie. It's kind of like watching Superman get beat down and he's at a low point, and then he finds his strength and comes back out and wins the day against whatever bad guy he's fighting. It's the same kind of thing here. It's a hero story. He is going to still be the hero that crowd needs him to be. That says a lot about Dave Grohl. We're going to skip to the next one, but basically they put him down on that chair that's right there, and then they sit him down here. And you see they're walking him out, crowds yelling. I love this. This is so great. The hysterical part is that it's also to the tune of Under Pressure. I mean, what a great choice for the band to use for this. So yeah, he comes back out and is handling the pressure with nothing. But yeah, this is great. Back out. I mean, doesn't that have you rooting for the guy? I mean, he fell, broke his leg. He decides he's going to play the show anyway, and you're going, yeah. I think that band gained a lot of fans because of just how much respect it takes, how hard something like that is to do, and he handled it with such grace. That's the videos from the actual concert where this happened. Now I want to show you the next part of this equation. 3 years later, they went back to the same venue and performed again, and this is what Dave Grohl does. Watch this. Okay, so they've got the concert going, and Dave Grohl comes out. Here he comes, the hero that they all wanted. He runs out. And watch this. And he falls again. He made a joke out of the thing that was such a painful experience for him. The character that this guy has is just so impressive to me. He is not only a great performer, but he's a good person, and he really cares about his crowd. Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters teach us a couple of important lessons when we watch these videos. They are in service to their crowd every time they perform. That includes when things go wrong. First main lesson that I take from this is that as best as you possibly can, the show must go on. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's going to want to continue playing after breaking their leg, but it teaches us a lesson here that there are going to be times where things are not right. They're not going the way you want them to, and you still need to try to keep performing. I actually dealt with this not that long ago in one of my own performances. A guitar player that I was performing with suddenly had no sound coming from his guitar, and he had to pull out a second guitar that he had and play with that guitar. I've had a situation where my keyboard went completely out of tune on stage. An electronic keyboard went out of tune. It turned out it was a power issue coming from the stage I was playing on. You learn to handle adverse situations. The show must go on as much as you possibly can. Lesson number 2 with this is there's never a need to be absolutely perfect on stage. You have to do your show in service to your crowd. If you can't play your music perfectly, but you can relate to your crowd, that is what's going to give you a better reaction to your performance. The third thing is that if you watch Dave Grohl when he was on the ground there, he grabbed a microphone and he made sure that his audience was on the same page with what he was currently dealing with. So even in a bad situation, he was talking to the crowd, he was making it relatable. He was saying, I broke my leg, I might have to go to the hospital. He's making sure that everybody feels okay about this. The entire time, even when he was on the ground, he was being in service to his audience. He was making sure that they felt good about being at that performance. That's something that we can learn to do in our own performances. Not necessarily breaking our leg and talking to the crowd about it, but talking to your audience members like you are family, like you are good, long friends, like we've known each other for years. You want to be able to let your audience feel comfortable with being attached to you in some way, shape, or form. That creates this level of commitment to one another. So the band is loyal to its fans, the fans are loyal to its band. That's it for this month's observation and reflection. As always, I appreciate you coming to the channel, watching these videos with me. If you can, like or subscribe or comment or join my email list at DannyRobertsonMusic.com. I'd love to know what you think of these things. I'd love to know if there's a group that you'd want us to do an observation on, if there is something that you're seeing out of these videos that I have not mentioned in these videos. So please comment whenever you have the chance, okay? Cheers to your next best performance. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next week. Take care.